Hey, Miguel Literati with the CRP, and I'm very happy to be here. Today, it is Friday, June 28th. We are on the eve of the UFC on ESPN 3, a major heavyweight fight. Francis Ngannou taking on Junior dos Santos, basically a number one contender fight in the heavyweight division. And that's special anywhere you cut it. And what we have here is we got a special guest to talk about the fight. I talked to my old buddy here, Jonathan Ivey. Ivey, an MMA veteran who operates in the heavyweight division for basically the last quarter century, right, buddy?
21 years this August.
Yep, 21 years. So he's been to war for many years. He's probably got 100 fights at this point, no?
I think mixedmartialarts.com and stuff's got me at about 100. It's probably around about 130 in reality.
All right. So we're talking about a real veteran. I know for a while you were working with Roy Jones Jr. in that promotion down there. I think it's Shark Tank or Shark Promotions or what's Roy's promotion called?
Island Fights. Roy brought me down there for about 6 shows, about 3 years worth. I went down there and fought for Roy.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun stuff. And you got a few MMA veterans on your resume, but we want to talk about Francis Ngannou and Junior dos Santos. These are basically top 5 ranked UFC guys, and the cream of the crop, basically. Ngannou, a scary man with unbelievable power. Dos Santos, a veteran and a former champion. He's done a lot of these 5-round fights, but I'm going to ask you, Jonathan, if you're Dos Santos, can you stay away from Ngannou's power for 25 minutes?
Well, I think you just hit on something real important, Miguel. I think potentially the biggest deciding factor in this fight is going to be the time limit. I think originally it was scheduled for 3 rounds, and now it's been moved to the main event, so it's a 5-round fight. Can he avoid it? Yeah, Dos Santos is very crafty, Miguel, and I mean he's been around the block, 3 or 4 times, so he's real crafty in avoiding things and setting things up. But there ain't many athletes like Francis. You know what I mean? The story with Francis, though, is how much gas is in the tank. It seems like some fights, maybe the gas tank runs empty, and in a 25-minute fight with a guy like a Junior in front of you, that could be big,
Yep, no, I think you're absolutely right. Now, in terms of Dos Santos, like you said, definitely been around the block, a former champion. Now, in some of his fights, he's taken some shots. Now, what are his chances with Ngannou? Do you want to take shots with a guy like that, or do you better off to make him miss?
Well, Miguel, I believe the human skull can only absorb so many punches, and it gets proven time and time and time again. It happened to Chuck Liddell, Wanderlei Silva, Big Nog, me. It happens over and over. I think the head's only got so many hits it can take, and every time it gets hit, it clicks another, and once you reach that number, the head just doesn't respond the same way. Having said that, Francis could hit somebody the first time they've ever been hit and put them to sleep. So, Junior's been through a lot of war. Has he reached that number yet where he's going to be deadly for the whole 25 minutes. But I think Junior has more weapons. I think with the kicks and the knees and the elbows and things like that, I think Francis primarily just wants to knock somebody's heads off their shoulders. But I think Junior has a real chance in this. But you're right. Can he stay away and not get clipped for the amount of time it takes?
Now, you brought up an interesting point. As an MMA veteran, and you know yourself as a fighter, there came a day where you knew you weren't the same as you were when you were a 25, 30-year-old man. Now, does that change Dos Santos' game plan a little bit? If he comes to that realization, wouldn't a takedown serve him best here? Or maybe a takedown every round?
Yeah, he's going to need 5 of them. But so Dos Santos is 35. Francis, I think, is 32. So there's not a huge age gap, but I think there's a punishment absorbed gap. I think Junior's absorbed more punishment. Francis has had so many fast fights, right? He keeps, both of them's been on a heck of a streak, but Francis just gets people out of there quickly. It's can Junior not get clipped early? If Junior can avoid getting clipped early, I think his chance goes up. And I think every minute that passes, I think favors Junior. But Francis is deadly for the whole 25. But yeah, takedowns, absolutely. I think Junior should take him down as often as possible. Even if he feels comfortable on his feet, we know Francis is comfortable on his feet. So why allow your opponent to be where they're comfortable? So yeah, I would definitely suggest him take him down at least early. And then maybe once Francis' gas tank goes out a little bit, then maybe he can try to pick him apart, because Junior's good at that. Junior's good at picking people.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. You got to make a pick.
If I had to bet on it.
Yeah.
Can I say if it ends in the first round, I want Francis, and if it ends in the second, third, fourth, or fifth, I want Junior. But if I had to pick, I'm going to pick Junior.
Okay. And that's definitely a fair pick. He is an underdog, so you may want to look at that. But Junior dos Santos, a lot of people are analyzing it the same way. You basically summed it up, that he has more tools in the toolbox to get him through a 25-round fight. Francis, a freak of nature, but if he has to go in a different direction in the fight, there are open questions. So we've gotten the scoop from Johnathan Ivey. Jonathan, I'm going to give you a minute to plug your webpage and your YouTube channel and stuff. Great stuff out there. I laugh every time. And serious stuff, too, there with the fights and things like that. Something for everybody. Why don't you give it a plug?
All right, guys, before I do that, Miguel, if it goes past the first round, everybody start looking at Junior, because I'm really picking Junior after the first round. Yeah, go to Johnathan Ivey's YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search Johnathan Ivey. That's Ivey, and subscribe to the channel, guys. Other than that, I'm promoting events. I conduct leg lock seminars. I'm still fighting. I'm currently fighting. I was just the Coliseum Combat Heavyweight Champion last year. I gave my belt to Travis Fulton because he's a heck of a guy, and that's my role model. Other than that, Miguel, man, it's a blessing. Miguel's actually the guy that got me started, guys. My first 9 or 10 fights is because of Miguel. He got me my first title shot against Jeremy Horn and brought me to Boston to fight Ben Rothwell, and it's just been a blessing, and I really appreciate you, Miguel.
No, and I appreciate Jonathan the whole way. Anybody, who wants to look at him and say, hey, he didn't make it to the UFC or anything like that, none of that doesn't matter a hill of beans, because the man worked hard. He worked hard for every single promotion that he ever went through. And, he was a good soldier. And, as I understand it, too, he's a good father and he's a hell of a YouTuber. So check him out and subscribe out there. Jonathan, good to see you. And we'll keep in touch, man. We'll touch base every once in a while when the heavyweight action comes in.
Absolutely. And when Junior wins, you bring me back. I want to pick all these heavyweight fights.
Perfect, brother. Thank you very much.
All right, brother.